before I start speaking, let me just remind the theme that we all wanted through the day, right? It was about ideas into actions. Basically, how to bring your ideas into actions. That's the thought, right? So let's start with this one. Every big change in this world always starts with a simple sentence: what if? What if there's a better way to do it? What if I could give it a shot? What if somebody else does it? But interestingly, most of these what ifs never become what nows. Because while the world is full of thinkers, it is desperately short of doers. And I'm not saying this as a motivational speaker, but as someone who almost killed most of his ideas on the notepad of the laptop. A few years ago, I started noticing something. Brilliant students, big cities, small towns, especially from tier 2 and tier 3 institutions who were entering the corporate world, most of them were unprepared. What does it mean? They weren't unskilled, they weren't unintelligent, but they were just unmentored. They didn't know what to expect from the corporate world. They didn't know what corporate world expects from them. How to survive in your job for the first few days or the first few weeks without burning out, without breaking down. This led me to think, what if I can do something to help them? And so with the same thought, I started reaching out to colleges, both engineering as well as management colleges, asking if there is a way I can mentor these students, conduct some mentoring classes, mentoring sessions for the students. And what happened? Nothing happened. Most of the messages were unanswered. Most of the mails were unanswered. Some of the ones which were answered, they said they'll get back, but practically nobody got back. But somehow this idea never left me. I still kept on thinking I should make this happen. So I still continued following up with the institutions, respectfully but relentlessly. And finally, one college agreed to give me a chance to do a mentoring session. That one yes became a ripple. In the last 9 years, there are nearly 5,000 students I have mentored. Not just students, but students and young professionals who have just entered the corporate world. And I could do this not because I was the smartest, and neither I was somebody with vibrant experience, but somebody who wanted to not just keep this idea with me, but walk with it, implement it. As the mentoring sessions started, a lot of the students began asking, why hasn't anyone told about these things before to us? Why is there no book or a guide that we can refer back whenever we get stuck in our life or even during studies? Why isn't anyone preparing us for the real world? Now that got me thinking, why not write a book which can help students not crack exams, but crack life after college? Now, when I shared the same idea with some of the fellow associates or acquaintances, most of them either smirked or raised their eyebrows, saying there are already enough and more self-help books in the market. There are already enough people telling us these things in one or the other way. And what's so different about this book? None of these points were wrong. All these points got me thinking, yes, what's going to be so different about this book? This book wasn't been written from a mountaintop, neither a guru talking saying that how to succeed in life. Rather, a fellow traveler telling you, here's what I had wished that these things, especially some of these essential skills or practical perspectives, were told to me before I got into my first job, my life would have been different. And so I continued writing. That book covered multiple aspects, couple of them. Pressure of managing money as you start working. Dynamics of workplace culture as well as meetings. Hidden battles of becoming better at communication and negotiation. Stress of trying to succeed but not at the cost of losing your mind. And that book became, I wish someone told me this before my first job. The mentoring journey continued. I still continued helping students. There was another pattern I started observing. Most of the youngsters, as well as professionals, were not just struggling with gathering knowledge, they were struggling with mental menace. What does that mean? I will do it tomorrow. What if I fail? I have prepared everything, but I don't know how to start. There were two common blockers that I came across when I was understanding this pattern. One was procrastination, the other was overthinking. Again, that gave me the next idea. What if there is a book that rather tells you how to do not more things or to do things more quickly, but rather something which can tell you to do what matters consistently? Again, I reached out to people whom I know, the same responses, but I still continued writing this book. That book ended up becoming called as Mindful Momentum. Of course, this book reached thousands of readers, and each time I got a message saying thank you, I thank myself that I didn't stop myself from not writing this. Both the books have gained enough recognition. One of them has become the bestsellers. The second one, I just got the message an hour before when I was waiting for my turn to speak, that even that has become an Amazon bestseller now. Along with that, it is a practical guide for how to live mindfully. Now, all of this couldn't have happened just because I got the idea to write a book. It happened because I was able to put those ideas on paper. This made me realize one thing in life. Ideas don't need applause. Ideas need actions. Most of these small ideas today have become moments, meaning breaking life lessons and self-development topics into bite-sized videos and shareable articles on Insta and LinkedIn. Life skill workshops for students. Creating frameworks and tools which can help students and young professionals become better holistically. Now let's get to the fundamental question, right? Don't we all have ideas? Yes, we all have ideas. What stops us? What basically makes these ideas not come to life? Based on my experience, there are three reasons. One, we wait for perfection. Meaning, no one is going to come and buy your idea or accept your idea. You need to self-sign in. Second, we wait for perfection. The first thought, the first write-up, the first page, it's never going to be perfect. But you need to just begin. Third, we underestimate small beginnings. Meaning, most of them I've seen saying that my idea is a bit small. It is small and it will remain small until you don't allow it to develop and grow. Now, how do you turn these ideas into actions? Of course, we understood that, okay, what stops from us to make these ideas to life? Now, how do you put these ideas into action? Three fundamental ways that I do it. One, scratch it, meaning make a note of it, give a shape to it. Second, speak it. Speak about it to someone who believes in you, not somebody who knows you. Third, start small. One paragraph, one post, one page. Tiny and consistent beginnings actually lead to wholeful actions. I don't stand here as the most successful person today, and neither am somebody who has achieved the best, but rather I stand here as somebody who didn't let fear freeze me. Let me leave you with these three thoughts. Ideas don't die because they are flawed. They die because we freeze. Note on your phone, the thought in your journal, the voice in your head might be actually not just an idea. It might be a hope for someone. It might also be only your hope. So plant it, water it, trust it. Because ideas are exactly like seeds. Until you don't water them, until you don't allow to bloom them, they will never do. Thank you, everybody.